شكرا يا ربي شكرا.
And this is the Surah An Nahl. The Surah An Nahl is the bee. Okay? It means the bee. And it is the 16th chapter, 16th surah of the Quran. It is in the 14th juz again. And it's a Makkan Surah. It has 128 verses, 16 sections. Now, let us just go through the points real quick. Everything in creation proclaims the glory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Man is given dominion over nature. He may recognize the unity, the oneness, and the truth of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Man should never lose hope or sight of his goal. All creatures serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala subhanahu wa ta'ala's innumerable favors and man's ingratitude are recounted. Allah's signs is recounted, and Allah's signs, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the signs that He shows in the rain bearing the clouds. How is the rain formed in the clouds? This is a sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the cattle that give milk, these animals that are giving milk that we are enjoying, this is a sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The bee that produces honey, this whole surah is about the bee. It's named after the bee. So obviously this is a sign also. The wonderful relation of family and social life, this is a sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This love that is created, this bond, this unity that is created in between family members, this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The refinement and the comfort of civilization, this is also from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about He has provided signs in the lives of the bees, birds and animals. Signs for me and you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises to provide a good abode for those who migrate for His sake. So when things get tough and you have to migrate, and you migrate for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from one place to another, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about that. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala were to punish people, He would not have left even an animal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is merciful. So obviously He wakes us up in a way where we are kind of nudged and we're told, hey, wake up. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. Just as water gives life into the dead earth, the same way Quran gives life and it revives the soul, the human soul. This is also spoken about in this surah. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands people to do justice and be good to others and give near relatives, and He forbids indecency, wickedness and rebellion. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُ بِالْعَدْلِ وَالْإِحْسَانِ وَإِيتَاءِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى وَيَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنكَرِ وَالْبَغْيِ يَعِظُكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ. This is all here in this surah. It's mentioned in Surah An Nahl. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. Before you start to read Quran, seek refuge in shaitan from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Seek refuge in Allah from shaitan. This is also here. To read A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim before reciting Quran, this is also here. And invite the people to the way of Islam with wisdom. وَدُعُوا إِلَى سَبِيلِ رَبِّكَ بِالْحِكْمَةِ وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. To be nice, to be kind, to be inviting people with wisdom. This is all mentioned here. Now let us just look at the summary real quick. Now there was a famine in Mecca for 7 years which came to an end. The persecution of early Muslims drove some of them to migrate to Abyssinia. Everything in creation glorifies Him. So this migration was spoken about over here. We know that there was two migrations done before migrating to Medina Munawwara. There was migrations to Abyssinia, to Habasha. Now everything in creation glorifies Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Man is given dominion over nature so that he may recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have the power over the nature. We consume and we enjoy everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us in the nature. From the trees, from the earth, from the skies, from the jungles, from everything. It's our disposal. It's our disposition. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created horses, mules, and donkeys for man's benefit. وَالْخَيْلَ وَالْبِغَالَ وَالْحَمِيرَ لِتَرْكَبُوهَا وَزِينَ. These things are put in place so that we can enjoy it, so we can be served. So we can use them as mode of transportation. We can benefit from these animals. The things that we cannot bear, they're heavy. These animals can bear it for us. Today, by extension, we have the cars and we have the trucks and we have these, the mode of transportations. These are all by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us. A person might say, this is made by human. Yeah, who gave the intellect and the intelligence to the human? Allah. The crops, the olives, the date palms, the grapes, and all kind of fruit. These are all signs from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The night and the day, the sun and the moon, the stars, everything, the different colors of the sky, the earth, everything is subservient to the man by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command. The sea provides fresh meat and the ornaments to wear. From the sea, they take lu'lu, these gemstones from the sea. This is all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you want to count Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's favor, you will never be able to count them. Surely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is forgiving, merciful, and knows what you conceal and what you reveal. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about also mountains, rivers, roads are created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yet you call upon others who can create nothing and themselves are created. People deny that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does everything, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did everything, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put everything in place, yet people deny Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they call unto others. This is really, really sad that we knowing that it had to be done by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yet we people turn to others. People turn to other divinities. Na'udhu billah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the Rasul and the messages with clear signs. The scriptures, the books, this is to warn the unbelievers, to and make them believe and look, this is the signs of Allah. These are the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not, if you're not worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then it's going to be a big problem. Because you're going to have to stand in front of Him on the Day of Judgment. And these are the message. The messengers came with these messages. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also speaks about after suffering and oppression and becoming fugitive, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised a good abode for those who migrate for His sake and great reward in the hereafter. So again, for those who migrated, and they were persecuted and they suffered in Makkatul Mukarramah and they finally migrated, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises them a great abode and reward. And just as water gives life to dead land, so does the Quran to the human souls and revive his spirituality. If a person reads Quran, there's signs of the bees, birds, animals. This surah is inspired by the bee, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspired the bees to build their cells, hives in the mountains, trees, and the beekeeping places. And from there, we get what? What do we get? Different kind of syrup. This honey that we get. It's what is this honey? يخرج من بطونها شراب مختلف ألوانه فيه شفاء للناس. There's what? There's a cure. There's shifa for different things in the honey. And this is by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is made in such a miraculous way by these bees. These are signs for me and you to take and understand that this just didn't happen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands to do justice. Be good to others, provide for near relatives, be kind, maintain the ties of relationship, and He forbids indecency, wickedness, and rebellion. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also talks about, before reciting the Quran, we should seek protection from the accursed shaitan. Halal lawful and haram unlawful are ordained by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Invite towards the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala good advice. Be kind and nice, reason and wisdom, and courteous. Be presentable, talk in a beautiful way, in a nice way, in a kind way when you're talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also talks about the favors and the signs, the rain bearing cloud, the cattle that gives milk, the bee that produce honey, these are all signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So eat of the sustenance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided for you, lawful and good. Only forbidden to you is dead meat, blood flesh of swine, and food over which the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not been invoked. So those animals that are not slaughtered, this is one of the problems that we face in North America, that we everything is zabiha, but unfortunately they're not. They're machine slaughtered, and we have different issues with our meat today. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about at the end that the Quran is true guidance, is giving guidance and glad tidings to the believers, and make the best of this life and all things good and lawful. This is as far as Surah An Nahl goes. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq and ability to practice upon whatever we heard and preach it to others, inshaAllah. And may He forgive our mistakes and our shortcomings. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.